Hi, welcome to another video by Emma Brooke. Thank you for joining me today. Lovely Easter Saturday. I wanted to talk today about something that has come up for me recently and has been quite a long-standing thing anyway, and that is getting taken advantage of in relationships and how to identify that and basically how to stop it. This is something that has happened to me and been a kind of pattern in my life for quite a few years, but it's something that I really want to make clear is not a kind of woe is me, I've had all these terrible people attracted into my life, because actually it's not their fault, it's mine. And what I've come to realise in recent years and sort of whilst I've been on this journey of spiritual development and spiritual growth, and particularly over the last year or so, I've seen a big change and a big shift in the people that are coming into my life, and the people who are in my life, how I have shifted the dynamic by being more mindful about myself. So just to give you examples, I now have my best friend. He's been my best friend for probably 2.5 years, and he didn't intentionally take advantage of me, but I was put upon a lot, and it's only been by my own self-awareness and my own reflection on how I am and the energy I put out there that I've been able to see how that dynamic is not serving us. And by shifting the way I approach things with him, I have seen a shift in our relationship, in our friendship, and now it's much more equal. I feel a lot stronger, I'm a lot happier. He has seen the shift in me and is very grateful for the work that we've done together, because it's really helped him as well, not only in our relationship but in his other relationships as well. Excuse me for my coughing. I missed last week because I had flu, so I still have a bit of a cough, so I apologise for that. So when you feel that maybe you're being put upon in a relationship, maybe you feel you're being taken advantage of, maybe you have a friend or partner who just is always asking things of you, and for some reason you're always there and you just take it on the chin, or perhaps you don't and you argue all the time. There are two things that people do when they're being put upon in a relationship, but there is only one reason why that happens in the first place. And I say this with the greatest love and respect for anybody out there listening who's resonating with this story, but it comes from you. And the reason that people feel that they can do that to you is because there is a lack of self-love going on. That either you don't feel you deserve to be loved and respected, that you don't love yourself and respect yourself enough, or perhaps there's another reason that you can't quite put your finger on, but generally it's self-love. People who respect themselves, who are confident, who know who they are, don't get taken advantage of. So I say that, as I said, with the greatest love and respect, because I know it can be really hard to hear. And I'm not for a second saying, particularly, in the instances of children being taken advantage of, that's not something that you're aware of, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It just means that at that particular moment, at that particular time, or maybe it's ongoing and it's where you are now, it's the best you can do, and it's where you are. And the reason that you found your way to this video is to start you on the journey of loving yourself more, to take yourself out of those situations. So congratulate yourself and give yourself, a break for getting here and being able to start your journey or continue your journey onto greater self-love and less taking advantage. So if you've acknowledged and kind of accepted the fact that maybe there is a little bit lacking in you, that you are looking for somebody else to fulfill you, somebody else to make you feel loved, to make you feel wanted, to make you feel special, that's a huge first step. The second thing that's really helped me and a lot of people is to become more aware of the dynamics in the relationship. So start studying and almost taking a step back and looking at the conversations that you're having with your friend or your partner or whoever it might be. Might also be a parent. Did this very effectively with my my parents, who I've not always had the best relationship with, but this has really, really helped me to become aware of how I'm reacting and how I'm fueling any situation. So just take a look at the dynamics. Imagine it's like a tennis match. Any interaction that you have with anybody else is an exchange of energy. So when a person texts you, they talk to you, they shout at you, they behave in a certain way, they're throwing energy at you, they're giving you energy. And it can be high energy, low energy, negative energy, positive energy. And you can see that and you can acknowledge it for what it is, and you then have the chance to respond. And there are two things that people who tend to attract being taken advantage of do, rightly or wrongly. They go down a pity me route, or they go down a defensive route. You may do both, you may favour one or the other. I personally always went down a defensive route. And quite often look really, really passive aggressive, because I'd let my ego get in the way and I'd be like, oh yes, of course, yeah, I'll do whatever you want and blah, 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 blah. But deep down, I was really annoyed about it and I was really frustrated, and that energy was what was being sent across, not what I was saying. What I was saying was BS, basically. I was trying to come across as a bigger person, but it was my ego getting in the way, and actually it just came across as passive aggressive, and the other people, because I'm sure I did it with lots of people, just picked up on the energy that I was being defensive and being negative, and they responded from that, and that's what prolonged the interaction. The other thing you can do is go into a real kind of pity me mode, like, oh, I always attract the wrong people, I always attract the people that just are going to take advantage of me, why do I always get taken advantage of, why are people always so horrible to me, why do people just expect me to do whatever they want me to do? It's horrible. If you're in that situation and you feel that way, you have to pick yourself out of it. You have to forgive yourself and move on, because that negativity will only breed further negativity. So really start to analyse your interactions with people. Really start to pick up on the energy that's being brought your way and how you choose to receive it and respond. And how you respond is really key. And this is something that the metaphysical text, A Course in Miracles, really works with strongly. And it goes as far as to say that all relationships are spiritual assignments, and you can view your relationship as an assignment to turn it into something loving and holy. And I've really taken this on board, and it does really help. So if it's feeling a little bit freaky right now, just bear with it. But how you respond will determine how the other person responds back. So if you want to stop this cycle, it's on you to stop it. So how you respond will decide whether or not the cycle continues. And it can be an ongoing journey. It's not like you're going to finish watching this video and have a conversation with somebody and you're going to respond in a different way and all of a sudden, poof, the relationship's going to be wonderful and fixed. It's not. It's an ongoing process. But this will help shift the energy to something better. So when you've realised what's going on and you realise like you normally respond really defensively, or you normally respond with a woe is me mentality, take a moment and forgive yourself, because you're on a journey now and everybody goes through this journey at different stages of their life, and I have been on it for years. I have much better relationships than I did, but they're by no means perfect. And this is something I am continually doing. So just give yourself a break and try and take each moment as it comes. In this conversation, I'll try and be a little bit less defensive. In this conversation, I'll try and be a little bit less woe is me. And you just take it day by day and conversation by conversation. So when you get that energy, try and look at the other person, try and see the other person from a loving perspective. And I mean genuinely loving. I mean, take your ego out of it. Stop trying to be a martyr. Stop trying to be the bigger person. All of that aside, imagine this person is a part of you, because they are. We all share the same energy. Imagine this person as a young child or an innocent bystander, or, notice that this person isn't taking advantage of you because they want to. They're on the same spiritual journey. They might be in a different place, and they might be at a different time, and they might not come to realise this for another 6 years. But they're on the same journey, and they're not aware of what they're doing. They're doing the best they can do in this moment, just like you're doing the best you can do in this moment. So try and see that from a loving perspective, and try and respond from a place of love. And this is really tough, and I implore you to stick with it, because it will make the biggest difference in your life. When I first started doing this, I just couldn't see it. I was just seeing red. I was so frustrated with that person. I didn't want to see it. And the more I became aware of how they were reacting, of the defensiveness or the negative energy that was coming towards me, the more I started to realise how I was fueling it by the way I responded. And when you realise that you're perpetuating your own misery, it's really enlightening. So I took that time, I took that moment, I took that awareness, and slowly but surely I started to try and respond from a better place. And I'll be honest, I didn't do so well for quite a long time. I let my ego get in the way, as I said before, and I was really trying to be the bigger person and feeling all good about myself because I was a bigger person, and I walked away, or I, forgave that person, or whatever it was. And actually, it wasn't changing my energy. I was just saying something different. And all that was happening was my ego was getting boosted, but nothing was changing in the dynamic because the other person was still picking up on my passive-aggressive energy. So it has to come from a really loving place. And it's amazing when you actually respond from that place. The other person doesn't know what to do. And all the other person can do in the end is respond from a loving place too. I had this just a couple of days ago with my best friend, because he did something a little bit silly and I was very frustrated with it, and I started off getting all angry and annoyed, and I was like texting him like, oh, you let me down, and I suddenly sort of took a step back and go, oh, God, what am I doing? I don't do this. This isn't me. And so I agreed to meet him. I asked to meet him face to face, and he was kind of expecting a fight. Like, he was kind of, we met, and he was like, right, come on then, have a go at me. And I was like, oh God, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have a fight with you. And I took a step back, and I took my ego out of the way, and I took my defensiveness down, and I just said, I just want to be friends with you, and I just want us to be in an honest place where we can have a conversation and be truthful with each other, and I just want to move past this. And we talked, and at the end of that conversation he said, thank you so much for coming to see me, because he tried to get out of seeing me because he thought I was going to have a go at him. And at the end of it he said, thank you so much for coming to see me. I don't know why you put up with me, but I'm so glad you do. And that, to me, it didn't boost my ego. It just made me feel so grateful and so loved, and so happy that we now have a fresh start and we can be honest with each other and maintain that friendship. So it really does make a difference. Analyse your thoughts, analyse your process, and you will change your relationships, and you will let go of the ones that no longer serve you. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that. Any comments, please do leave them below for me. I do read them all and I do respond, so I'd love to hear from you. Have a wonderful weekend and Easter. Take care. Bye.